What we're going to look at here is how to simplify expressions and equations where we've got brackets and pronumerals, and sometimes we might have brackets and pronumerals on both sides. So at the moment here we've just got a constant on the right hand side, just a number all by itself, whereas sometimes there might be brackets with pronumerals that we have to solve first before, or simplify first before we're able to solve. And so the process for doing this is we go through the process of expanding the brackets, simplify the equation that we come up with, and then we go through the process of solving. So we can solve that then by collecting all of the terms with pronumerals in them, so anything with an X in it or a letter in it, to one side, collect them all to one side, and then we collect all of our constants, all of our numbers, to the other side. So let's have a go. So the first thing we have to do is look at this equation and expand the brackets. So in order to expand the brackets, we take the 2 and we multiply that first of all by the x, and then we're going to take the 2 and multiply that by the minus 3. And so we're going to end up with 2x minus 6 from what's in the brackets. Then we're going to have minus 3x is equal to 4. So we've now expanded our brackets. The next thing we have to do is simplify. We simplify by collecting the like terms. So what we need to do is get all of the terms that have the pronumeral x on one side and all of the constants on the other side. So what we're going to do on the left hand side is add 6 to get rid of this 6 here, and whatever we do to the left hand side we also have to do to the right hand side. So on the left hand side we're going to end up with 2x minus 3x, because the 6's cancel each other out, and on the right hand side we're going to end up with 4 plus 6, which is going to give us 10. Then we can take these two pronumerals here, the two terms with pronumerals in them, and calculate or simplify that. So 2x minus 3x is just going to leave us with minus x. The right hand side we know is equal to 10, and so now we have a negative x being equal to 10. If we're solving, we want to find the value for x, and so our final step is simply to multiply both sides by minus 1. Whatever we do to the left side we do to the right side. So I'm going to multiply x by minus 1 and end up with I'm going to multiply minus x by minus 1 and end up with x. And when I multiply 10 by minus 1, I end up with minus 10. So our process was expand the brackets, simplify by grouping the like terms, and then solve for x. I'll do another example as well. So let's do an example where we have brackets on both sides of our equation. So these are just like the questions that you're finding in exercise 2e. Let's find one where we've got brackets on both sides. So we're going to have a go at 3 times 2a minus 3 is equal to 5 times a plus 2. So our first step is to expand the brackets. So we take our 3 and multiply it by our 2a. We take our 3 multiplied by our minus 3. We're going to take our 5 and multiply it by our a, and our 5 and multiply it by 2. So 3 times 2a gives us our 6a. 3 times minus 3 gives us minus 9. And that's going to be equal to 5 times a gives us 5a. 5 times 2 gives us plus 10. Then we've got to group our like terms. So move all of our terms with coefficients to one side and all of our terms with constants to the right hand side. So I'm going to subtract. I'm going to first of all remove this 5a from this side. So let's minus our 5a. And whatever you do to one side, you've got to do to the other side. So I'm going to have to minus 5a on the left as well. So I then end up with 6a minus 5a. And I'm going to do it in a long step. I'm going to leave the minus 9 here at the moment. Minus 9 is equal to 5a minus 5a, those are going to cancel each other out, equals 10. So I've then got 6a minus 5a, that's going to be left with a, and because I've got this minus 9 on this side, I've got to add 9 to get rid of it. But whatever I do to the left, I do to the right, so I'm going to have to add 9 to this side. So I've then got 6a minus 5a gave me my a, and then the two 9's cancel each other out, and the 10 plus 9 leaves me with 19. And so we have our answer of a is equal to 19 to make this top equation true. That was an example of solving equations where there's brackets on both sides. And what you need to do is expand the brackets before you group like terms, simplify, and then solve.